Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video for IGCSE Biology, we're going to discuss the carbon and nitrogen cycle. So as the syllabus has mentioned, you only need to know two nutrient cycles. The first one is carbon cycle, and we're going to focus only on photosynthesis, respiration, feeding, decomposition, formation of fossil fuels, and then finally combustion. And then the second cycle that you need to know is nitrogen cycle. That's really long, so let's get right into it. We'll start with the carbon cycle. Now, carbon dioxide is present in the environment. Around 0.04% of the percentage composition of air is carbon dioxide. Other than that, all organic compounds have carbon in them, right? So we're not just discussing about carbon dioxide, we're discussing about how carbon is moving through these different processes in our environment. So it could either be as gas, it could either be some other compound, but we're discussing how carbon moves and flows through these systems, okay? So let's start over here. The most obvious one is photosynthesis, right? You may have studied this a lot. Photosynthesis is a process in which plants make their own food, and in doing so, they need carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is removed from the environment and taken inside this plant. Now, this is probably the only way through which carbon dioxide is taken in. All the other ways are going to release carbon dioxide to the environment, which is not really good because the carbon dioxide levels are rising a lot, and this is a greenhouse gas, so it causes a lot of environmental hazards if it increases, and it has increased recently, right? So when decomposition occurs, that means when we cut down plants, we have less plants that are going to take in carbon dioxide, okay? So in order to make sure that this balance is appropriate, we need to have more plants that can take in carbon dioxide. Now, another process is respiration. Respiration is a process through which carbon dioxide is released when food is oxidized, when glucose is oxidized. So animals respire, even plants respire, okay? Plants respire as well. Now, this respiration is also done by decomposers, so it will move to that in a while. Now, what happens underground? Okay, so these plants are dying and decaying, so there is death and decay. Even animals, they go through death and then decay, and they may also have waste compounds, okay, that have carbon. Also, how do animals get carbon? All animals, they all get the primary source of energy is from plants, okay? So if it's, for example, a line here, or like a secondary, for example, if here we have a secondary consumer or tertiary consumer, they are mainly relying on plants, okay? When animals feed on these plants, carbon is transferred. Now, death and decay and waste. So these plants, when they are decaying, they are decayed by decomposers. So decomposers are going to decay these remains, and decomposers also respire, okay? So there's respiration by decomposers as well. Now, if there's another possibility, that means instead of decaying by decomposers, they can undergo fossilization. So if there are appropriate conditions, for example, there's a lot of pressure, and after millions of years, these plants actually turn into something valuable, which are fossil fuels. This process is called fossilization, and we get our petroleum, coal. All of that is by the process of fossilization. So fossilization provides us fuels, for example, crude oil, coal. You also have oils, underground oil, petroleum. Okay, so when these fossil fuels are burned in factories, that means this process is known as combustion. Okay, burning of these fossil fuels to get energy. This process is called as combustion, and carbon dioxide is the byproduct of this process as well, and carbon dioxide is released back to the environment. So this is all about carbon cycle that you need to know. Let's move on to nitrogen cycle now. All right, now let's move on to the nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen cycle is also important for IGCSE biology. You basically need to know these processes, and then you need to focus on these processes. So let's have a look at nitrogen cycle. Now, before we study this nitrogen cycle, we have to focus that there are three types of bacteria at play. Okay, these I have highlighted them in another color. Let's see what each of them do. So first we have nitrogen fixing bacteria. Nitrogen fixing bacteria simply converts the nitrogen gas which is in the air. Remember, 78% of the air is nitrogen, okay, but it's inreactive. So that means plants and animals, we don't directly absorb nitrogen. We take it in forms of compounds because we need it to form proteins, right? All proteins have nitrogen. So, how does that happen? Nitrogen fixing bacteria takes the nitrogen from the air and converts them into ammonia or ammonium compounds. Let's see here. So, you have this process here. You have nitrogen fixing bacteria, and this is present in the root nodule bacteria in legumes. These are some kind of plants, and also in free living soil bacteria. Okay, they have nitrogen fixing bacteria, and they take the nitrogen from the air and convert them into ammonia. Another process through which the nitrogen in the air is converted into useful compounds is by lightning. Okay, so we saw that nitrogen is very unreactive because it has three strong bonds. Okay, so lightning basically breaks these bonds and you get oxides of nitrogen. Okay, NO2 and 2O for example, and then they can combine with water, rainwater, form nitric acid or compounds of nitrogen, and they will dissolve and reach the soil. As you can see that here. Nitrogen is now converted into ammonia. So nitrifying bacteria basically converts ammonia into nitrates. NH3 is for ammonia into nitrates. These are useful and they can be used. Nitrates will be assimilated by plants and they will go back to plants. A lot of times we even add fertilizers that have nitrates, so because this provides good growth for plants. Also, nitrates can be converted back into nitrogen gas by the process of denitrification. So denitrifying bacteria basically converts the nitrates compound back into nitrogen gas, and they are anaerobic. Okay, we don't really want this because nitrates is good for the plants, right? So oftentimes farmers are going to plow. That means they are going to aerate the soil. They will dig up some parts of soil so that oxygen can enter the soil. And when oxygen enters the soil, denitrification cannot occur because they occur when there is lack of oxygen. So it means if there is a piece of land which is not aerated, which is not plowed, then denitrification will occur and the nitrates will be removed from the soil. So we don't really want this if we want healthy plants. Okay. They converts nitrates back to nitrogen gas in the air. So basically, plants are absorbing their nitrogen from the nitrates, and then they use that nitrogen to build their proteins. Remember, nitrogen is an important component of protein. Proteins cannot be formed if nitrogen is not present. Animals get their share of nitrogen by feeding on these plants. If there's a secondary consumer or tertiary consumer, and when they feed on those animals, they would get their nitrogen as well. Now, the waste products from the animals and the death and decay of plants and animals sends nitrogen back into the soil. The decomposers are going to convert those compounds into ammonia. These are converted into ammonia, and the nitrifying bacteria can convert this ammonia into nitrates. So that's all about nitrogen cycle. I hope it's clear for you all. If you want me to make another video of another topic, do let me know.